Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh. I don't know what the date is. It's Sunday, the 16th maybe? I think it's the 16th of May with video number, FLOSSTUBE number 75? I have no idea. I don't have see it at the beginning. I forgot to look it up on my phone before I turned the phone on, and I'm too lazy to do something about that. Anyway, supposedly this is a FLOSSTUBE about my random thought processes and how lately I seem to just be not remembering to do anything properly. Thanks for coming back to watch my weekly ramble about stuff. I don't have terribly much to show you today, so hopefully it will be short. I do have a funny dad story. If you're squeamish about blood, then fast forward for 5 minutes. But yeah, I rang Dad earlier in the week, and Dad's like, oh, I've got a story to tell you. And anyway, his car's in at the panel beater for a couple of days, just getting some supermarket things taken out, and he had an audiology appointment. So his friend Ian drove him into Whakatane, and they were heading off to do something else, something to do with an orchestra afterwards. They were a little bit early, and Ian felt like a drink, so they pulled over at a dairy, and Ian popped in to get a can of Coke or something, and Dad got out of the car to stretch his legs, and then they got back in the truck, in whatever the hell car truck, and Ian was having his drink, and I think Dad was sitting there like this in the passenger seat with his arms folded, and he said he felt wet in his trousers. So he looked down, and he was covered from nipple to knee in blood everywhere. And then he looks around, and there's blood on the door, there's blood on the seat. And he said to Ian, what the hell's going on? And Ian said, what have you done? And Dad sort of like, I don't know. Then apparently he'd taken a chunk of flesh out of his arm somehow, perhaps getting in or out of the car. But he didn't feel it, but it was quite a big chunk, and Dad's on blood thinners, so it's just like, anyway. So I said, well, did you go to the hospital? Oh, no. He said, Ian had some wet wipes and sort of wiped up the car a bit, and I put pressure on it, and he took me to my appointment. He said he walked into the audiologist's office, covered in blood, holding his arm and limping because he's a decrepit old bugger. And the lady at reception just started screaming, like, he must have looked aside. And she said she let out these 3 massive screams. Another lady came out, and she happened to be the resident first aid lady. She took him aside and got the first aid kit out and sort of bandaged him up. And he said he went into the bathroom and he tried to wipe a lot of the blood off of his legs and stuff. There's blood everywhere, and he was on his hands and knees wiping blood off the floor. So his DNA is everywhere. You know, in cop shows, they always swab the bathroom. So I said there better not be a major crime there, because his DNA is everywhere. And I said, well, then did you go to the hospital? He said, no, it's all healing okay. So anyway, that's Dad's story. So the poor lady at the audiologist is probably traumatised, and it's quite funny, but it's unfortunately one of those normal dad stories. Anyway, that's Dad's. Apart from the fact that he lost a whole lot of blood, he's doing okay. So crazy. He just doesn't feel it when he cuts himself or takes a chunk of bark out of him. But anyway, that's Dad. He's doing all right. I've got to ring him at 3 o'clock today he wants me to help book him some flights to Australia to see my sister. And my sister has sent me through all of the various bits of time when she's got other people staying, because we've got this Australasian bubble now, and we can fly quarantine free between Australia and New Zealand. Everybody's booking time to go over there, which is one of the reasons why I sort of decided I'll go in October. If I've had my vaccine, if I've been vaccinated, then I'll go in October. end of September, early October. But I know that the kids' dad's going over, so my ex-brother-in-law's going over, my brother-in-law's mother's going over. They've got my sister and her husband are going off into the outback for about 3 weeks for a holiday. I don't know what that's all about. I wouldn't do it. It sounds too hot and like things that can eat you. I don't want to camp in the outback in Australia. And yeah, there's just all this stuff happening. So I guess people are trying to get 2 years worth of travel in. So yeah, I'm going to do that this afternoon, hopefully find him a reasonable flight that will fit in various windows and get that booked for him. For everybody who then might say, oh, that's really nice of you. No, Dad will be paying. I'm just doing the arranging. I'm not buying my dad a flight to Australia. I've got my own bills. So anyway, that's pretty much that. I've been so busy. In fact, I just got an invite from a friend to go around for dinner. So now I've got to whip off to, I might make a scallop potato or a potato bake thing to go with she's making roast lamb. So I've got to go and get some cream or something and some cheese. I have potatoes. I just don't have everything to go with it, but I'll make that. Dinner at 5, or to go round at 5, so that's that. Went to the ballet this week, went to Giselle. I've been to Giselle before, if any of you know it. It's a weird ballet. I don't love the story ballets. I much more love contemporary ballet. I love what I call a bit of flailing. I like more evocative, sort of emotional sorts of, the interpretive sort of stuff. But, I do enjoy the ballet. But Giselle's weird. It's too hard. There are 2 acts, and the first act is very story. Lots of standing around the village and tra-la-la and lots of gesturing and overacting and stuff. And it's not a lot of ballet, but the second half is amazing when you're in the forest at night and the willies and the queen of the willies, the kind of spirits, I guess. And there's some very specific choreography for Giselle where they do it's a lot on point, but it's lots of sort of this, I never did ballet. Do I look like I ever did ballet? No, I never did ballet. So I don't know all the terms, but having been to probably 200 ballets, I still don't know what all the terms are. There's lots of sort of the sideways hop, 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 and then lots of on point very across the stage. Beautiful. So second half is beautiful, and there's a pas de deux is like when Giselle is a spirit, a willy, and the slow lifts and this, just fantastic. So we had a lovely time. Anyway, went to the ballet, went to the movies on Wednesday, went to see The Courier. Fantastic, really, really good. I almost lost it a couple of times, especially when it's based on true people, true stories. It's really good, and Benedict Cumberbatch is just, he's fun. And the kid that his character has a son, and the kid that they cast to be his son was a really good match for him. He had little cupid bow lips, so he kind of has the same mouth and a straight nose, and they did a really good job of the casting, I think. So if you ever get to see it, The Courier, it's really good. I really recommend it. But it's pretty intense, and there's some mild torture stuff in there, so don't if that triggers, avoid it maybe. Anyway, did that. Just been really busy. Went to a home show yesterday, almost bought a bed. I do need a bed, but I need to tie-ho on the spending, but I found a bed I like, so I'll just keep an eye out, and maybe closer to the end of the year I'll be ready to buy. I want to go up to a king-size bed. I've got a not very old mattress on my bed, so it's a good bed. It's just that it will go into my spare room. I'm currently borrowing an old bed for my spare room. So my queen will go into the spare room and I will go to a king, which will be like sheer luxurious. I'll be like starfish and I'll be fantastic. But what I need to do is I need to kind of buy all the bits and pieces for a king size bed, because when you buy a new bed of a new size, you then have to spend about $1,000 buying sheets and all the new bigger duvet and all that stuff. So anyway, that's 11 minutes, not about cross stitching. Let's get on to some cross stitching. Really, it's just a gap filler because I don't have that much to talk about. Oh, there's one fly. Okay, so I've only stitched a little bit because I just haven't been home. So I pulled out Red Deer Sampler from Gigi, which I'm stitching on 36 count Pumice linen from Country Stitch, and I'm using mostly my own conversion. I'm using my own conversion, mostly using Victorian Motto Sampler Shop from Mustache. Oh my god, I've still got a needle in this. That never happens. I think that I got interrupted by my neighbours coming over. I had my neighbours over for morning tea. So last time you saw this, I'd done all this side. I haven't ironed it, and then I picked it up and I've done the bottom vase, and I'm just working my way up here in the top one. So that's where I left it last night. I must have just decided, screw it, I'm going to bed, and I've left the needle in it, but I'll pick that up and I'll probably do a little bit more tonight with that. Anyway, that's where we're at with that. I like it. Just for those of you who don't remember, it's going to look a little different than what, oh, that doesn't work. It's going to look a little different than what the, it's not going to work either, it's in plastic too, what the charted is, because it's chart, oh, this is the original on the front, which is quite dark, like this is the green's darker, but it's alright, I like it. So, yeah, that's where that's all the stitching that I've done, which is, you know, that's some, but I think I'll work on that again tonight, and then Monday, Tuesday and Thursday I might work on my Modern Folk embroidery, because I realised I haven't done the, what month are we? I haven't done the May block. So I might do that. Wednesday night's book club, so I won't get anything stitched then. And then Friday is away to retreat. So off to Christchurch on Friday midday, bit of shopping, catch up with one of my stepbrothers and his partner Penny for dinner on Friday night. Maybe a drink or two with whomever is at the motel on Friday night. Then we've got retreat Saturday, retreat dinner Saturday night, retreat Sunday, and then kind of straight from retreat back to the airport. I'm probably not, you know what, I won't have a video up on Sunday next week morning, but I do have Monday off. I've taken the Monday off because I won't have had any housework done, or won't have any food in the house or anything. So I get back about 9. I think I get back at 8:45 on Sunday. That feels too late. I don't really know when I get back. 8 o'clock. But by the time I drive back out to the Hutt, it'll be closer to 9. I'm not going to the supermarket. So there won't be a video on Sunday, but I will do one on Monday. I've got the day off, so I'll do one Monday morning and get that out Monday afternoon. So it'll be Sunday, Northern Hemisphere, and, well, you know, America and all that. So yeah, don't look out for it until a day late. It'll be a day late, okay? I will do one, and I'll do a quick little retreat recap and show you all the stitching I didn't get done and what I bought, because I'll be buying a little bit. Speaking of buying a little bit, I do have a couple of things to show you. I did buy a couple of charts from Al Forest, which had been in my wish list for a while, and then I saw somebody on Instagram post their progress, and I was like, oh my god, I have to get it. And they had a discount. I don't know why. So I got, this is the one that I absolutely love. So it's Southern Land from Our Forest, and it's only 4 colours, I think. I do love it. I might change the colours slightly, but I'm not sure. So it's charted for their, I have no idea what it's charted for. It's charted for DMC, or it's got their own colours. The colours names that they have are quite cool. So whatever they use there over dyes. Thunder Sky, Dark Cloud, Vermeil, and Red Bilberry Fruit Drink, which is kind of random. You've got these kind of really moody colours, and then Red Bilberry Fruit Drink. And so DMC 932, 930, 351 and 817. So I might tweak them a little bit, but I do like the colour scheme on it. And then I was like, well, I'm in there, why not get Northern Land as well, which is in a different colour scheme. It only has 3 colours. Dark Cloud, Garnet Bracelet, and Crimson Maple. That's pretty cool. So I think this one, so that's Southern Land. So I think they're quite stunning. So together, they are pretty cool. And I like that they go together, but they're different. They're quite a different style, and the colour schemes are different. I think they're quite cool. So yeah, I bought those. They'll go into the 50 start set 50 bucket. I'm quite happy to do them on just a cream linen and use DMC or over dyes, but they would be from my stash, like Victorian Motto or whatever. So they were new. And I got, finally, my Silks For You Colour of the Month for March arrived. Some of you, those of you who are members will be aware there's been some issues with shipping, and it looks like all of their March stuff that went to the States got returned with insufficient postage, so they're sorting that out. But the New Zealand stuff has finally come through, it seems. It was postmarked the 16th of March, and it arrived yesterday, which was the 15th of May. So that's 2 months from Australia, when we've had flights all the way through. So it's just a real nuisance. So I don't know what Australia Mail is doing. Obviously not sending mail, so it's okay. They finally turned up. And look, it's another purple. I don't have any lights on, it's a bit naughty. It's another purple, but those are what came up. So that's this really dark grey is PR043. So it's very much like a variegated 3799. This very peacocky blue is lovely, PR147. The purple is PR129. I don't think I've got that, but that's alright. It is a nice purple. I do like, it's got grey in it. Goes through to some grey. And the real variegated one is PR038, and it's predominantly a grey brown, teal, and then that bright apple green. It's quite nice. So that was nice that they finally arrived. 2 months. Bloody Australia Mail. Thing is, it was terrible pre-COVID. So pre-COVID, I used to get stuff from my sister, and it would take 6 weeks to get here. But we know that when it arrives in New Zealand, it takes 3 days. So I don't know why they just don't have a priority. And then I got home yesterday and had an envelope in the mail with a little package and a lovely little card. Just take one stitch at a time. Card is from Be In My Bonnet Company, published by It's So Emma, it's soemma.com. It's a very cute card. And this was a very surprise. I've got her Instagram name. It came from Fiona. So I haven't asked if I can share her full name, but Fiona's in Dunedin, and she just had watched one of my videos about all the sparkles, all the shiny things, and she decided to pass on some of her stash of sparkly things that she doesn't think she's going to use. So some, oh, I haven't got my glasses on. Number 8, blending filament, number 8. I think it's mostly number 8 braid. So number 8 braid and some blending filament into some, and I think that's probably the only one I might have, but I don't even think it's a number 8 braid that I've got. So that's very lovely. Thank you, Fiona. And some other sparkly things, which I definitely don't have this one. That's pretty cool. And I know people hate stitching with this stuff, but I don't. I mean, it's not, I don't mind. So these are the antique effects and jewel effects. So these are a little bit vintagey because they've all got new numbers now, I think. But yeah. And some that have been put onto cards. I don't have that colour. I definitely don't have that one. And then just a couple of little anchor things. Thank you, Fiona. I will put these into my stash and I will keep them in mind when I want to substitute things. And I particularly, and I don't mind using, I mean, it's fine, I don't mind using this stuff. Some people hate it. I really, really want to use this for something, so I'm going to look out for how I can add that to a project. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like it a lot. So yeah, that was a nice little surprise. So thank you, Fiona. I will make sure I follow you on Instagram. I'm a terrible Instagrammer. I haven't got time to really give it any love and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much my video. So what have I got? Yeah. Slowly, I did buy a butt ton of DMC yesterday. Many of us in New Zealand who are Spotlight members, who have Spotlight cards, got the $40 off of a purchase of $100 or more in one transaction. And they also had DMC down to $1. I think it was meant to be, I said $1.40, but mine went through at $1.22. Now we normally pay $1.75. Let's just say I got something like 80 something DMC for $63 or so. I can't remember because I did buy a bit of double-sided tape. It was close to American prices almost, you know, because we pay $1.70, $1.75 for DMC retail in New Zealand, as all you Kiwi lasses would know, and it's a bloody rip-off. So when you get the opportunity. So I went through some of my charts for next year. Anything that predicted more than 2 skeins, suggested more than 2 skeins, I got the doubles. That way, you know, no batch issues. Or in some of the Teresa Wentzlers where I know I need some colours, you know, across all 4 charts. I just went through and I went, well, what am I going to run out of? Bought a handful of Ecru, a handful of B5200, a few skeins of black, you know, stocked up on some of those basics and stuff. So that is, just helps, right? Not having to pay full price for stuff. So I did that, but you don't need to see what a bundle of 80-something DMC look like. You know what floss looks like. Cool, so that's it. Again, watch out for my video a day late next week. Thank you very much for your support. I hope you're all finding solace in your stitching. I hope you get vaccinated soon if you are going to get vaccinated. If you are choosing not to get vaccinated, that's your choice. Please do not send unsolicited anti-vax stuff, because most of us who choose to get vaccinated are doing so because we believe in science, not in conspiracy theories or social media stuff. I've had a little bit lately, too much of that crap, and I'm not interested in it. Enjoy stitching. As always, don't let your needles rust, which I'm in danger of by leaving that bloody needle in that work. I'll see you next week. Ciao.